Welcome to the Veterans in Politics Talk Show. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, live stream on Facebook. Folks, we're back for a second show. This is Steve Sanchez, Stephanie Phillips with Veterans in Politics. Today, our guest is Joe W. Brown, Nevada attorney, United States Marine, and he has his own street. But before we get to Mr. Brown, Ms. Phillips.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, and thank you to our sponsors. We have Becky Harris. She's running for Clark County Commission, District F. Her website is electbeckyharris.com, electbeckyharris.com. We also have Jill Douglas. She's running for Assembly, District 37. Her website is jilldouglas.com, jilldouglas.com. We also have Henderson's Mayor, Michelle Romero. She's running for re-election. Her website is votemichelleromero.com, votemichelleromero.com. We also have Judge Jennifer Schwartz. She's running for re-election for Department 17. Her website is judgeschwartz.com, judgeschwartz.com. We also have Judge Jacob Reynolds. He's running for re-election for Department 29. His website is judgejacob.com, judgejacob.com. We also have George Harris. He's running for Senate District 8. His website is votegeorgeharris.com, votegeorgeharris.com. And we have Christine Brewer. She is running for Family Division, Department S. Her website is ChristineBrewerForJudge.com. And that is the number 4, ChristineBrewerForJudge.com. And we also have Sherry Struthers. She's running for City Council in North Las Vegas, Ward 1. Her website is SherryForNevada.com, and that's F-O-R, SherryForNevada.com. And our newest one right here is Justice for Darwin Moda. He is an Army veteran, and he has been charged with open murder, and he was defending himself. So this is a case of self-defense, and for all of you CCW holders out there, I would pay attention to this story. Very important here. If you would like to get in touch with Darwin, his phone number, 702-907-9619. Again, 907-9619. Don't forget to grab your copy of Steve's book, How to Navigate Nevada's Family Court System. You can get a copy on Amazon. It is $14.99. If you do not have an attorney and can't afford one, going through the family court system, this is a self-help book. It will help you navigate that system. We also have a merch store. It's VIPImerch.com, VIPImerch.com. So there's all kinds of fun things for you to check out there. And also don't forget our candidate forum this weekend out at the Heritage Senior Center in Henderson. It's from 9:30 to 11:30. There's going to be about 30 candidates out there from all kinds of races, different ones, and you're going to want to come out and meet all of these candidates. For my rant, you guys have seen this story of a Marine. His name is Chris Kemp. He was a major, and he is retired now, and his daughter was taken. You can call it abducting and kidnapping. That's what I call it, because the mother took this child out of the country 4 years ago and took this child to the Philippines. There was a court order that neither parent could take a child out of the jurisdiction. So ever since then that his daughter was kidnapped, he's been fighting to get her back from the Philippines. He has gone to the FBI, electeds in our state. He went to Aaron Ford. Aaron Ford did absolutely nothing. And I say this because not only is he running for governor, I've heard a lot of people who have sent complaints to Aaron Ford's office, and he does nothing. I think he spends more time traveling outside the state than actually doing his job. But Chris is not the first parent to have a child taken from this country illegally. This has happened to a lot of people. And when you don't have these government agencies and law enforcement agencies engage and do something, everyone's passing the buck. And, the FBI says, well, we need a charging authority like the DA or the AG's office in order to charge this person. And, then they can do their job. It's always the other one. So I would say, Aaron Ford, get off your butt and help this Marine who has served this country honorably and get his child back. FBI, do your job as well. Help this Marine. Anyone who can help facilitate the return of this child to this country, get involved, help out. Get in touch with me if you can help this Marine bring his daughter home. He also started this organization. It's called the Paper Airplane Movement. You can find the page on Instagram. You can also go to the paperairplanemovement.com. That is Chris's website. It is going to be a nonprofit organization to help parents in the same situation and help navigate this system, because it seems like no one in charge knows anything of what to do to how to get this child back. And it's a shame. And laws need to change in our country so this does not happen. Okay.
Bravo.
Sorry that was long-winded, Joe, but it's a fellow Marine.
Sure.
So we had to get that out there.
Mr. Brown,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for coming on the program.
Mhm.
Could you tell us a little bit about you? And please, Mr. Brown, do not leave anything out because you have a huge legacy.
What do you mean about?
A bio.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm originally from Western Pennsylvania.
Okay.
For many generations, both sides of my family have been in the same town since the 1700s, actually. And my dad's family, my dad's great-grandfather was a doctor, graduated from Penn Medical School in 1823. And then his son started a drugstore that was still open for business when I was a kid. And my mother's family were in the coal mining business. And it was a town about the size of Boulder City. It was called Greensburg, Pennsylvania. That's 30 miles from Pittsburgh. It was very ethnic. I lived in a real blue-collar neighborhood. My best friends were Stanislaus Lawrence Nedrukowski and Joseph Attilio Paduti. Those were my two pals.
Sound like nobody messed with you.
Yeah.
It didn't.
But, they worked
Swim with the fishes.
They worked in the coal mines and in the steel mill. Joe, Larry Nedrukowski's dad worked in the steel mills, and it was a great place to grow up. I was related to nearly everybody in town because of both sides.
Going on.
Both sides had been there forever, and so I couldn't get away with much mischief without being reported. But anyway,
They didn't need those flock cameras to see you.
right. But I had a real healthy upbringing, and kind of the neighborhood took care of you, and I look back on it with fond memories. My first cousin, Scott Brown, was the mayor of Greensburg all the same 8 years that Ronald Reagan was in office, and he was a Republican, which in that area it's a pretty Democrat area. But we then moved. I had a brother that had some medical problems, so we moved to southern Florida when I was in the 8th grade. We still maintained close ties, and my mom would spend the summers back up in Pennsylvania. But because of all our good friends and relatives being in Greensburg, even though I went to 8th and 9th grade in Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach, I still I was a Pennsylvanian, and I loved Florida too. I had a great time down there. I went away to a prep school. I was always a fair-haired boy in Greensburg. When I got to Fort Lauderdale and discovered girls on the beach and chasing.
What were you chasing?
So my grades suffered, so my parents sent me away to a military school.
Too much chasing.
Oh,
I went to a military school in Maryland, outside of Baltimore. I was a boarding student.
Oh boy!
And then from there I went to.
I'll teach you.
Yep. From there I went to Virginia for both college and law school. I happened to be born in Virginia in 1941, right before World War II started.
Did you always want to be an attorney?
I grew up with my mother was the oldest of 5 children. She had 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Her youngest brother, who, if you look at pictures, when I was, say, 10 years old, for instance, if you look at a picture of my Uncle Tom, we looked exactly alike. And my mother used to always say, I want you to grow up to be just like Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom went to Yale undergraduate and Harvard Law School, and he served in the Navy in World War II, and he was kind of a local, hero. Hero, yeah. And he was a lawyer. He practiced law, and eventually his specialty was banking, so he became president of a bank there. And he was kind of my guy that I went to. My mom always guided me that direction. I want you to be just like Uncle Tom.
But not Uncle Sam, right?
No. But as I got closer in college to what am I going to do next, I went and talked to him, and he urged me to go to law school.
Yes.
And I also had my mother's youngest sister was in the Women's Army Corps in World War II. She went to a school called Smith College in the East, and then she went in the Army, and she met a fellow from Orangeburg, South Carolina, and ended up marrying him. And he went to Duke Law School after the Army, and they settled in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and had 7 children. And he was the city attorney of Spartanburg for decades. When I saw the movie To Kill a Mockingbird, that was my Uncle Tom Walsh. So I had several other relatives who were judges or lawyers. I had one. My great grandmother's brother was appointed by Teddy Roosevelt to the federal bench.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so you got a lot of history there in your family.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Hey, are we still in your bio?
Yeah, he hasn't even got to Las Vegas yet.
Oh, okay. Crap.
He's still on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Huh, Joe?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I went to University of Virginia undergrad and Washington and Lee, where my dad had gone undergrad. Where I went to law school, and it was just this incredible.
So you went to law school before you went in the Marine Corps?
No, I was a real reprobate in college. I was having too much fun, and
what were you doing?
Just partying, drinking too much beer, chasing girls.
Chasing girls.
No, I just wasn't serious about my studies. I was in a fraternity, and I was really into the social life, and didn't take my grades seriously enough. So when the Cuban Missile Crisis occurred, I started thinking about it. My parents were right there in Fort Lauderdale, right near Cuba. And
say that again.
What's that?
Say it again.
I said my parents lived in
Cuba. You said Cuba.
No, Cuba.
Oh, I thought you said Cuba.
Well, maybe I did. But anyway, so I thought I might as well, back in those days, you probably know that all young men had a military obligation. Draft dodging didn't start until a few years after that. Not too many after that. So I kind of felt that maybe with this Cuban Missile Crisis and with the vulnerability of our shore and all, maybe I should get my military obligation out of the way. And so I went down to Norfolk and signed up.
I've been in Norfolk.
Yeah.
It's the amphibious base, right?
Yeah, so big naval base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bigger than San Diego.
Yeah.
So I was shipped out to Parris Island in the spring of '63.
Woo! Shit, I wasn't even born yet. Spring of '63.
Well, the DIs
sounds like a very summery day.
The DIs, nobody had ever heard of Vietnam in those days.
Yeah.
So they were still telling stories of Korea and Lebanon, and anyway, it was just the right recipe for me to get my butt kicked and learn some discipline.
And it helped you.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
So I came back in school. I was only out of school 1 year because I joined 6-month Marines.
Did you go in the Marine Corps as an officer or as an enlisted?
Oh no, I was a grunt.
Oh, you were enlisted.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
I hear some scuttlebutt saying you went in as an officer. Not true?
Oh no.
Oh, man. See, that's why you got to go right to the horse.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
No, I went in. I arrived on Easter Sunday in Paris Island, and
Easter Sunday.
and so I was able. Fortunately, I was able to get the worst of the mosquitoes and the tigers and the can't see 'ems, and
You can't see him.
and then as June and July came around, then it was miserably hot and humid.
Yeah.
It was a terrible
Yeah.
place, but it was.
So what was your rank when you came out the Marine Corps?
E4.
Okay, you came out as a corporal.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then after that, what happened to you?
Well, came back and I had
Came back where?
to undergrad to Virginia,
Virginia.
and I had 2 weeks every year, summer, and 1 weekend a month that I would have to go to reserve meetings.
Oh, so you had the reserves you
Yeah.
had to do. Okay.
Yeah. And then when I went to law school, same thing. Throughout my all 3 years of law school, I had the summer camps and
So, Mr. Brown, how many active years did you do in the Marine Corps?
just the one.
Oh, you the 1 year.
Yeah, and then the 2 weeks every summer.
How long did that go for?
6 years total. It was
6
a
years.
6-year
Okay.
obligation.
Okay. How did you do the one active and
6 months. No, it wasn't a total one. I mean, it wasn't a total year.
you went in as a
I
reservist.
went in as a reservist.
Gotcha.
The drill, the
Gotcha.
drill instructor on my one of
They
my
didn't like you, huh?
on one of my earliest days. Yes, the drill instructor said, "There's only 3 things I hate in this Marine Corps.
Uh-huh.
That's college boys,
Mhm.
Airedales, and
Mhm.
reservists." And I was all 3
You
of
were
them.
all 3 of them.
Oh,
But
Okay.
it was, as I said, a great experience.
So when did you come to Vegas?
1968, July 4th weekend of July 68.
And keep going.
I came to work for a judge
Uh-huh.
who had been appointed by Governor Paul Laxalt,
Uh-huh.
and he was a Washington and Lee graduate. His parents were originally from that part of the country, and his dad was an engineer who had worked on building Hoover Dam. And so Al Wortman was raised in Boulder City, but was sent back east to college. And so he went to college and law school in Tennessee and Virginia. And in 1968, starting July 1st of 68, the Clark County judges for the first time, Nevada district court judges throughout the whole state, for the first time in their history, had been authorized. They had the money in their budgets to hire law clerks. Prior to then, the judges had to do their own research and writing. And so I was in the very first class of law clerks ever hired in Nevada.
Okay.
wow.
Let me push the years up a little bit for you. Tell us about 1974
74?
with Paul Laxalt.
Oh, when he ran for office?
Yeah, when you were running the legal team
Yeah.
and you almost beat Harry Reid.
Yeah, that was...
Now, it was because of you, Harry Reid got this airport named after him now. That was Paul Laxalt, I guess.
That's a bit of a stretch that I was running it. But I was involved on the committee that during the recount and all that, and there was quite a team.
What do you mean
involved.
by that?
There were several lawyers throughout the state, including Mel Brunetti, who was later appointed by Reagan to the Ninth Circuit. federal court, and some of the best lawyers in North and South who were Republicans were on that committee, and I was really one of the lower down people, but I worked on the committee, and Paul won. So I was very fortunate in my first week in Nevada, first week on the job, to meet the governor, Paul Laxalt.
There you go.
And it was just amazing that he was so genuine and friendly to me. When I didn't have a relative, I couldn't bring a vote to him other than my wife. And I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a relative west of Nashville.
What brought you to Vegas?
It was such a wild thing to even think about it. I was coming out of an afternoon class in law school with three friends. It was about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and we were going to have a beer before going home, eating dinner and studying. And one of the guys said, "Look, Pat, we passed by the placement board where the job opportunities were listed." And one of the guys said, "Hey, look at this. Can you believe this? A judge in Las Vegas wants a law clerk." And we all laughed about it and said, what do you got to have to wear blue suede shoes to court or what, And so we, all 4 of us, put resumes on the placement director's desk as a joke. I never told my wife I'd done it. We never mentioned it after that particular day. And so, and this was the spring of my last year in law school, last semester. So 3 weeks later or so, I got a call. "This is Judge Alvin Wortman, Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm calling to let you know that I have selected you from among the applicants." And I said, "Oh, get out of here. Who is
That's
this?
how you got here.
Who is this?"
Okay.
Yeah. Thought it was a joke.
So, so Joe, you've been involved in Nevada politics going all the way back to the 70s, 80s, and I'm sure 60s.
Yes.
And I'm
My
sure
judge was up for re-election when I got here.
I'm sure that you were friendly with both sides of the political party.
I was friends with Harry Reid and Dick Bryan, who were both running for the first time for the assembly.
So explain to us how different the political climate was back then than it is today.
It was far more amiable. People were courteous to each other, respected each other, although it was not without some hard-nosed politics too. I wasn't around when Senator McCarran was here. He was apparently a real tough.
SOB.
Yeah. But for the most part, Paul Laxalt was thought well of by both sides. Michael Callahan, Paul came out of office there in 1970, January of 71, and Michael Callahan took over. So Mike was a tough guy, as you probably knew. You knew him, didn't you? Yeah.
Has the ideology of the political parties changed?
Oh yeah.
How so?
Well, what people that used to be Democrats are now socialists, right?
Socialists.
Yeah. And I mean, both parties are not the same party that I came in first registered.
Not like the Ronald Reagan, right?
Right. Yeah, it's far different. No, you wouldn't recognize either party. But society has changed tremendously ever since the Vietnam War and the protests and the JFK assassination and all those kind of things. It changed America for unfortunately for the forever.
Do you think an ordinary Nevadan that wants to run for political office that has neither name recognition nor funding has a chance to win?
Not unless she's very beautiful.
Well, she. You went right to the she.
It'd be phrase your question again. If
Do you think that a ordinary Nevadan without any political connection or funding has a chance to win a political seat?
Yeah, they do, but it's a long shot. Depends on who you're opposed to. You know, if you got a weak, some people couldn't beat anybody at any time.
Have you supported or endorsed a candidate that you felt that could not win, but you did it based on that person and principle and blah, 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 blah?
I have. I would have to say I have over the years. I can't think of somebody off the top of my head, but, I'm a loyal friend. Right. I think everyone will tell you that I'm a good friend to have.
Why are you a Republican? Because you had friends on both sides of the political party, and you've been here a minute. Well, what made you register Republican?
I was, first of all, my parents were both Republicans. Okay. My mom was a very devout Catholic, but not even that would convince her to vote for John Kennedy.
You're kidding me.
No,
he was a good Irish guy. I thought everybody loved him. No,
he was a Democrat. She cried along with everybody else at his murder. But, I just grew up that way, and that was the way I thought about things. I happened to think on issues with a conservative bent.
You're a lawyer.
Yes.
Have you told any political elected official or somebody that's in government, no, you're not going to do this based on your own principle?
Yeah, sure. I've refused to support certain people, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Phillips?
Do you think there's a lot of people that they just go straight red down the ticket? You know, Steve and I were Republicans, but for some people, they look at character. They look at the person, not so much are they a Republican or Democrat sometimes. Mm-hmm. For example, Shelley Berkeley, she's a Democrat, but we supported her in her race. I'm supporting Becky Harris. She's an independent for District F. Is it more about the letter behind the name, or is it the character that you look for in a candidate?
Well, I would say the individual comes first. You know, when I analyze who they are and their qualifications and their experience and their character. I've been good friends with Shelley for 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Shit, beat me out.
I went to Taiwan with her in 1984.
How was that?
On a trip. It was a governmental sponsored thing, but I went with Marvin Sedway. Do you remember him? He was Speaker of the Assembly. He was very.
What year was this?
1984.
Oh no, I didn't pop in until 95.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, it was the trip was primarily Democrats, but I was serving in the Reagan administration at the time, and they had a spot for a federal official, and Shelley was kind of behind the whole thing. She was in the assembly then, and she had asked Harry Reid, and she said to me, "Harry doesn't think he can go if he can't, you're a federal official. Do you want to go to Taiwan? So, as it turned out, Harry didn't go, and my wife and I went on the trip, and it was a fun experience.
Have you ran for political office? If yes, why? If no, why? And
yeah, I ran for lieutenant governor, 1986. Against a guy nobody ever heard of, Bob Miller.
who became the governor?
And then what happened?
His son
After
became
that.
the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
No, I was playing tennis with Paul Laxalt one day, and he said to me at the end of the match, he said, "Sit down here. Got something to talk to you about." He said, "So and so." This was a Republican who was a very radical far right, unelectable far right guy. Has an appointment to come see me tomorrow afternoon. And I've been told that he's going to ask me to support him for lieutenant governor. And he said, "I just got this brilliant idea. If I told him that you were thinking about running, he knows how close we are, and he would understand that I can't support him. I can't commit to him." And so I said, "Well, okay, let me work. I'll do it." So Paul told the guy that, and he went to the press. There was a reporter by the name of Don DiGilio. Did you know that name? He told DiGilio that Joe Brown was running for lieutenant
Sign you
governor. And next thing I knew, that morning it was in the paper. Matty Graves.
It was in the paper.
Matty Graves came into my office with a sizable check saying, "I want to be the first one to support your campaign."
What year was this?
86,
How much was that check?
5,000.
A lot of money back then.
In 86. That's a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
So before I knew it, I was
again after that?
no.
How come?
But I had a great time. I mean, I compare running for office to quite a few ways with being in the Marine Corps. It wasn't fun at the time, but I have great memories. And I have some really.
I love the Marine Corps.
I have some funny stories of things that happened to me as a candidate and things that happened to me as a jarhead, and the things I learned, lessons I learned. I learned that I got a lot more in here than I thought I did. I think the Marine Corps teaches you that. You think you're going to die if you have to take another 20 steps, and you end up running another couple miles, right?
Sure.
So it was a great lesson, both running for office and that I had been appointed in 1979 by Governor Bob List to the Fish and Game Commission. And I was always I loved the outdoors. I liked fishing and hunting and hiking and all that. But I was back in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I got that in my blood. But when Bob List got elected, he took me aside at a Christmas party before he was sworn in and asked me if I'd be interested in being on the Game and Control Board. And I said, "No, I don't want to do that. I want to be on the Fish and Game." So
really?
it was a dumb career move. Yeah.
I would have took the Game and Control Board.
Yeah. So
Hands down.
So he put me on the Fish and Game Commission, and at our first meeting, when they were talking about the chucker counts here and there, and how many deer there are in Lincoln County, and this that, I kept asking, "Well, where's that? Where's it?" Because I didn't know, and so I said, "I have a suggestion," which was adopted and still is a rule, that every I think once a quarter, I think it was every one meeting a quarter, had to be somewhere other than the office in Reno. And so that gave all of us a chance to get acquainted with the issues and the area and the people in that given area, where like PH was our first meeting, the first time. And So we went to Pioche and Eureka and Panaca and all these places that I would have never been to.
Right.
And it was
Sounds like when she ran for Senate.
yeah,
Oh, it's all over those places.
yeah.
So, Mr. Brown.
And when I ran for lieutenant governor, I had a core of people around the state. Those local people that I had helped to listen to were my supporters.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat, which was no big deal, but I beat Bob Miller in all those counties.
Mm-hmm.
And
That is a big deal.
well, he beat the hell out of me here
Well,
with the unions.
a lot of candidates, they don't go to the rural counties and they just focus on Washoe and Clark.
Yeah.
So when you're running a statewide race, I think it's important to visit those folks in the rurals. Yeah.
So, Mr. Brown, you've been here 58 years, right? Right?
Yeah.
All right.
58 years.
So, what other boards besides Fish and Game have you sat on?
Countless.
Name
I've been on 3 state commissions: the gaming board, the gaming commission, and the boxing commission. I love that, and
You met Muhammad Ali?
no,
You met Tyson?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I met him a number of times, and I really enjoyed it. I just went last weekend to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Okay.
I was really involved. Some of the commissioners only went to the big fights. I went to every fight that I possibly could. I went to the Orleans and the Showboat and every 2-bit venue. When I came to town, the Silver Slipper was open, and on Wednesday nights they would have fights. And
The Silver who?
Slipper.
Silver Slipper.
Where was that at?
I think that was
before my
North
time.
Las Vegas Boulevard.
Next to the Frontier, which was across from the Desert Inn. All these places that are turned
They're all
down,
gone now.
torn down. Yeah. But I love the boxing thing. I when Joe Cortez was nominated, inducted into the hall, I thought somebody from the commission should be there representing the state, and so I went back to Canastota, New York, with Joe, and I ended up. Mike Tyson was inducted that same year, and Joe and Mike and I and his wife, we all went to dinner afterwards. It was a real thrill. I loved the boxing part of it because believe it or not, I boxed at Paris Island.
Did you?
Yeah.
What class?
132 pounds.
Ooh, were you quick?
I was a bruiser.
Your mic
microphone fell.
Oh.
Jeff.
Just clip it back on there.
Yeah, just clip it.
So,
there you go.
there was a question I wanted to ask, and it kind of like slipped.
All right, while you're thinking of that, what?
Next?
I got a couple. What are some of your most memorable clients and cases?
Well, Howard Hughes. That was when I first passed the bar in 1969. I had to wait. I couldn't take it the first year because I didn't have the
board number.
1240. Wow. Yeah. Are you a bar?
No, I'm a real estate broker.
Okay.
She'll sell your house.
A few.
An office building.
So what was your question again?
Your most memorable case or client or things.
Well,
Is it Jimmy the Fingers?
I had several. I got involved in a contentious issue with the city of Las Vegas early on.
It wasn't the Badlands, right?
No. This was had to do with what they called the red line in those days, and there was a ordinance on the books that said you cannot have a casino on anywhere in the city limits unless it had to front on Fremont Street and could not extend east beyond Casino Center. It could be like the Four Queens or the Fremont, which their front door is on the intersection there, but it goes back.
Casino got the memo.
Well, it's
Or close.
the ordinance is long gone now, but they had made 8 exceptions, and I took them on, and because I represented a guy who
You did civil only, right?
yeah
Okay. You didn't do any criminal.
no
So you and Oscar Goodman didn't hang out.
No, in those early days there was no federal public defender.
Oh wow.
And so we used to get appointed occasionally
Okay.
to criminal cases. But,
Have you sat as a commissioner or pro tem or anything like that?
well, I should have told you that. I was, not only was I the first law clerk, that first class of law clerks in state history, but a Supreme Court opinion came down in the spring term of the Supreme Court 68 that applied the Miranda warnings to juveniles. And so the judge on my very first day at work gave me the Supreme Court opinion and said, tell me what this opinion says. He said, I think it means that we have to appoint a public defender and a counsel for juveniles as well as adults. And I read it and I said, yes, that certainly does. And so the next thing he said was, raise your right hand. And he appointed me I was the first special master in Clark County.
Special.
The title was special master. And I presided over the arraignments of juveniles accused of crimes. And so it was a great experience for me. And then I got appointed to hear traffic tickets on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evenings, and Saturday mornings, and I made $7.50 an hour, extra money.
Now you make $7.50 a second.
That was a lot back then.
What?
That was a lot back then.
It was.
Yeah.
I was making. My salary was $600 a month as a law clerk.
Mm-hmm.
My wife made $640 as a teacher.
Wow. She beat you.
Yeah.
That hit your pride.
Yeah. So my extra 50, $100 or whatever a month by doing the traffic court was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a street named after you, right? I want to know how that happened. And is that country club? Does that belong to you? The J.W. Brown Country Club?
Of course.
Like shit's my club.
No,
Still practicing.
the first week, my first week on the job, Judge John Mowbray.
Okay, I know that name.
Now, his son is a very distinguished lawyer in town right now, a very good lawyer. And John Mowbray Sr. had been a judge in Department 3, where I ended up, Al Wortman. John Mowbray ran successfully for Supreme Court. So that left a vacancy, which Laxalt appointed Wortman to. So on my first day on the job, this guy comes blowing through my little cubbyhole, and he says, "I've heard about you. You're." He knew it. It's like he had a private investigator or something. He said, "I know where you're from." He said, "I've done some research on you. You are eligible to join the Sons of the American Revolution. And there's a chapter here, and I want you to contact so-and-so." I didn't know what the Sons of the American Revolution was. Never heard of it before. And then he also said, "I understand you're a Catholic boy, and there's a very good chapter of the Knights of Columbus here, and Charlie Horton, the bailiff, is a member, and I'll see to it that he takes you. I mean, it wasn't like, would you like to go? It was,
like you
you will go, yeah. And so that second week, I went with Charlie Horton, the bailiff, to the Knights of Columbus. And as you walked in the door, there was a bar open. And I went over to order a cocktail. And Judge Roger Foley, federal judge, was standing there and said, who are you? And I said, I'm Joe Brown. I'm a new law clerk. Just moved here. And he said, Joe Brown. He said, is your middle initial W? And I said, yes. And he said, well, are you related to the Joe W. Brown that used to own the Horseshoe? And I said, no, Your Honor, it's just a great coincidence but I have no relationship to the guy. And just then another man came over to say hello to the judge. And the judge said, oh, I want you to meet Joe Brown Jr. here. You know, his dad ran the Horseshoe. And then the guy walked away, and I said, Your Honor, I just told you that, and you misunderstood me. I'm not related to the guy. He said, yeah, but it makes a great story. He said,
He's a judge.
so he always told people.
That's funny.
And he used to work out at the YMCA at lunch, which I did at lunch. And he would tell everybody in the YMCA that I was Joe W. Jr.
Is that how you got the name? The street
Yeah.
named after you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Joe W., the original Joe W. Brown, owned all that property where the country club
Right.
and the street and the Hilton Hotel.
And you just took it over because of the namesake.
Yeah. Well, Jay Sarno was another one. Jay Sarno used to tell people it was named after my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
That's so great.
I like it.
yeah, so I've always lived off of that. Although I've never told anybody.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah.
Do you still handle cases? Do you still practice?
I still practice, but I'm really not handling any cases. No.
You're
Okay.
never going to retire, are you?
I don't plan to, but
good.
who knows? I don't do much.
Have you said were you the national committee man for the Republican
I
Party?
was, yeah. And I was on 2 federal commissions appointed by Reagan. I had to go through advice and consent of the Senate,
Okay.
which was kind of a neat thing.
That sounds like an experience.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. It's like going through for a gaming license twice, you know.
Do you have anything else?
I do. Have you ever sat on the Nevada bar? What's the discipline?
Judicial Discipline Commission.
Not the not the JDC.
State Bar Discipline.
Yeah, that's
Discipline committee, no.
no.
I ran for the membership. For the board one time. I got beaten by Paul Pergary by 1 vote, and he was a wonderful guy. I didn't mind.
Is he
losing to him.
related to the Ron?
He's Ron's dad. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you what this is.
Well, I got very involved in Nellis Air Force Base starting in the early 80s. And I eventually became what they called the commander of the support team. And before I got involved, there was it was a group that met twice a year, and they would just have a briefing on the mission of Nellis and what needs they had and what was going on in the warfare. But in I think it was 89 or 90, a wonderful redneck Texas Aggie who was a 2-star general named Billy McCoy took over running Nellis, and he and I hit it off, and we made it so much fun. Everybody wanted to be part of the Nellis support team, including Steve Wynn and people like that. You know, we'd have congressmen like Newt Gingrich come to town, or Air Force Chief of Staff, and we used to have to just go to the officers club and eat bad food and all that. But when Steve was there and Steve had the Mirage open and all that, he'd treat him to a really nice place, where they'd remember they came to Las Vegas.
Mhm.
So and then each base in the Air Combat Command has a representative to the 4-star general at Langley in Virginia, and I was the representative from Nellis to Langley for
that's
several
incredible.
years. Yeah.
Is
And then
that
Randy
what's
Black's
inside?
team, and then Michael Gahn has had the job for several years.
Is that a certificate in there inside? Oh, it's a little book. I thought it was
Yeah.
an award in there.
No, and the commander, up until about 2 years ago, whose name was Case Cunningham. His wife is a terrific lawyer in town. They've been stationed here off and on, and she originally joined our law firm because she went to the University of Virginia Law School, and she came and looked me up, and I hired her, and she's a very good lawyer. But her husband Case, his last time he was here, and he had gotten orders that he was going to be moving on, and got another star. He said, "I'm going to create an award for the person in the community that does more than anyone else to benefit the troops at Nellis Air Force Base." And he said, "I'm going to name it the Joe Brown Award, and you're going to be the first recipient." So there is now an award given each year. It was given to Michael Gahn a couple years ago. It's been given this year to Dave Radcliffe. Do you know Dave?
No.
Oh, well, anyway. I'm very
Name don't
proud.
ring a bell.
I'm very proud of that.
He was a former police officer, right?
He was.
And now he's in the real estate business.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's the commander of the Nellis support team.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that I've been to, I don't know how many lunches, all these different organizations that do the monthly lunches. And especially when I was running, going to your luncheon has always been my favorite. And I don't just say this because you're here, but I've told a lot of people this. The people who come to your luncheons are incredible people, business owners, former judges, attorneys. I mean, just from all over. And I just have always enjoyed coming to your lunches and the people that are there. You do such a great job at that.
Yep. Well, Len Jessup is my next speaker. He's going to be a good one.
How many years have you been doing your
18.
18? Wow.
I used to have, since Bob died, I used to have lunch with Bob Mayhew himself. And I don't remember how many years we did that, but I was with Bob at a funeral reception afterwards. And we sat down, and John Laxalt, Paul's brother, was there, and a fellow named Jerry Dondero, who had been Paul's chief of staff when he was, and another man named Reese Taylor, who was head of the Interstate Commerce Commission. And I said to Bob, every time we get together, we talk about having lunch and doing this. But I said, let's get it on a schedule where we have the first Wednesday of every month, or whatever's convenient. We all get together for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, great idea. And then so John Laxalt and everybody else there in that group said they wanted to be part of it. And then so we had a couple of meetings, and then Clyde Turner, do you know who Clyde is?
Hmm.
Clyde was CFO to Steve Wynn at the Mirage, and Terry Graves and Ted Quirk. They joined us. So there were 8 of us, including Bob and me. And we did that until Bob died in August of 2008. And in September, I was having lunch with Jerry Dondero, and I said, geez, I miss Bob. I miss those luncheons. It's going to be it's going to be tough without Bob and our monthly because we would drink it. Had a good bit to wine to drink at lunch, and we told story. It was always a 2-hour lunch or more, and so we cut it off at eight people, and then when Bob died, Peter, his son, called me the next morning and took me to lunch, and he said, Dad, on his deathbed, said he wanted you to do his eulogy, which I was blown away by, of all the people in the world, you know. So got the idea of having a lunch and having a speaker. And one of my earliest speakers was Federal District Judge Brian Sandoval, who was considering running for governor.
Consider it.
Yeah.
Do you have judges and judicial candidates speak at your luncheon?
They get to introduce themselves, but you know, I get a lot of candidates, so I limit them to just a few seconds. Gotcha. They mostly just mingle and schmooze people, but you've seen that. It's a great forum for candidates to get to know people.
It is. It's great. I love it.
And I have my favorites who I introduce.
I know
more
you do.
Yeah.
I know. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Are your favorites my favorites?
Oh yeah.
A lot of them are your favorites. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he knows he may not even have seen the person, but he just knows who's in that room. I swear. And he just, goes around and doesn't ever miss a beat. It's amazing. And he includes everybody. And it feels like a whole family there. And it's great. It's a wonderful, wonderful lunch.
There's a lot of people that when they first come to town, they get to know people by coming to that lunch, and they become great friends.
Yeah, it's a great place to network and meet people.
I've had a lot of people tell me, God, I met my partner at your lunch, or I got my investors at your lunch. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Ms. Phillips, do you have anything else for Mr. Brown?
Well, I know we're probably out of time, but we could keep him here all night asking about,
we went a little over.
Yeah,
you're an icon, Joe. You are classic, and you are...
Right, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown. Do they have a song about you, by the way?
Yeah,
we didn't even talk about what you do for veterans or nothing.
We need like a 5-hour interview with him at least.
Well, Marcus, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Mm-hmm.
Mark is going to zoom in on you, and you could you got a luncheon coming up, right? You could talk about that, or
September 2nd,
or whatever you want to talk about, and any point of contact you want to give.
Yeah, right now you mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. My next Bob Mayhew luncheon is Wednesday, September 2nd. And my speaker is former UNLV president Len Jessup, who you will remember was an excellent president of UNLV and got involved with some of the politics out at UNLV. But he went on to Claremont McKenna, where he distinguished himself, and he's come back to Nevada and he started a VC fund. And he's going to talk about what he's doing with that, and I think it's going to be very fascinating. He's written a couple books also, so he'll have the books with him.
How do people get tickets for your
You don't
lunch?
need a ticket. They're always the first Wednesday of each month.
What's the venue?
It's at the Ahern Hotel. They treat us very well there. The food is good. You're always going to have an issue with serving 180 meals on one.
And what time?
Food. At 11. I like people to be in their seats by 11:30. But people come at 10:30, 11 o'clock because of the schmoozing is so good. So many people have made lasting relationships.
Absolutely.
By being there early and getting to know people. So Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Now, I don't know how much longer. I've already got a loose idea of a succession plan when I give it up. There's a good guy standing in the wings willing to step in.
Well, there you go. You got a plan B.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown, thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
program.
you, Steve.
We really appreciate
It's
that.
always good to see you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Phillips.
We've been friends for a long time.
Absolutely. It's been a minute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the gray hair. Look at that, folks. Anyways.
You have the gray hair. You just shave it off.
Folks, that was that's Joe W. Brown. If you don't know who this man is, Google him. And he's an icon here in the state of Nevada. He's very informed, and he's very connected. And if you want somebody in your corner, you call Joe. We hope this show has been informative. This is Steve Sanson, Stephanie Phillips with Veterans in Politics. Until next week. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, live stream on Facebook.